These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. You know what's really terrifying? That unfinished college degree lurking in the background, just sitting there waiting for you. That's where Southern New Hampshire University comes in. With flexible online degree programs, there's no commuting, no rigid schedule, and no more excuses. Plus, they have some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to learn more before your degree becomes just another story about what could have been. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Elena.
I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid.
Yay! Did you almost forget to say who you were?
Yep.
I've done that before too.
I almost
was looking
just
at
said,
you like, nope,
hey.
nope, keep going.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up? Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
What's going on, everybody?
I was really hoping you would just continue saying hi. And
I got stressed out
the
by
whole
it.
episode could just be, hey,
Yeah.
hi.
I think that would
What's
be
up?
great.
How
I
are
think
ya?
people would definitely not hate that.
No, I think they'd love it.
100%. We know you guys.
It's Morbid in the Morning.
It is Morbid in the Morning. Morbid in the morning.
Put that on a shirt.
I was just going to say, why the fuck haven't we put that on a shirt?
I know.
You know, with like a little morning show?
Yeah.
Like a gothy morning show?
We could do like, I mean, we're just like thinking out loud here, but we could do like a cute little bundle where you got like a shirt and a coffee mug.
Morbid in the morning. Merch idea.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Well, I meant
Mikey.
I was like, someone write it down.
Someone write it down.
Someone write that down. I'm just kidding.
What the fuck?
Imagine if that's the kind of environment that we created.
Imagine. Just a festering shithole in here that we just yell at everybody.
Can I say something?
No.
Well, this is going to be a very quiet episode.
Just kidding.
Fuck, I forgot what I was... Oh, I love the word fester. It's such a yucky, disgusting word, but like when you use it properly, festering. Like it feels like a swear word.
It has a nice like to it because you're a festering fuckhead.
Uncle Fester.
Like festering feels real filthy
So
as well.
close, so close.
I know. There's too many F's. You know? But here we are.
Here we are.
And I don't know when this is coming out. But
This is coming out like way later from now.
yeah.
.com.
But I don't know what's happened. that we
in the
can
world.
reference.
I mean, the guy that carved his name or his initials into the Coliseum just got arrested today.
Good, man. Don't carve your fucking name in the Coliseum.
Yeah, that's so rude.
That's the rudest.
So rude.
Yeah, real ignorant. So
What
glad
else
that
has
was
happened
taken
in the
care
world?
of.
We learned yesterday, this is not a fun fact, but I think we all should be aware because I think it's gonna change how we live our daily lives.
Oh, the sun thing.
Elena, yesterday, we're just on the phone with my grandma, by the way, as this happened. We're just like shooting the shit with Kath. And Elena holds up a TikTok to me, like without the sound, and it said, "The sun could explode and we wouldn't know for 8 minutes."
Yeah.
So, like, the sun may have just exploded, knock on wood that it didn't, God forbid, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
But, like,
We are always
We
8
wouldn't
minutes
know.
away from the sun just ending it all.
so think about
So don't
that sometimes.
don't
And, like, live your life.
fuck it. You
Live
know?
your life accordingly.
I didn't even have anything to say after don't. I was like, just
Don't.
just,
Just
don't.
don't.
Don't do it.
Just don't, because the
Yeah.
sun could explode.
Don't.
If somebody invites you for plans and you're not sure about them,
You don't have to do it.
Fuck you. I gotta stay home tonight. The sun could explode.
Because what if the sun explodes and I'm at these plans that I didn't even want to do?
Like, oh.
Waste.
If the
Don't-
sun explodes and I love you guys, but if the sun explodes and I'm at work and I don't know for 8 minutes, I'll be so bummed.
Yeah.
And like wherever I go next.
Yeah. It's true.
I think the only place that I would want to be is with Drew.
With Drew.
Yeah, and like you guys and the girls.
Absolutely.
Existential thinking.
It's a concept, that's for sure. But hopefully it makes you just think twice about, like,
Being a dick.
you know, being an asshole or doing things that don't bring you joy.
Yeah.
And if being an asshole brings you joy, then, like, go talk to someone, because that's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a bigger problem.
Or maybe you're just a Capricorn.
Ah!
I'm sorry, I had to. I really saw the opportunity there and I couldn't let it
Couldn't
go.
let
away.
it go. Couldn't let it go. I lobbed you a softball and you had to hit it.
I love you so much.
You know? But, you know, here we are. We're here. Hopefully we have more than 8 minutes.
Hope so. Wow, that starts us off on
What
a
a
good
way to
note.
begin.
Yeah. So I did want to, before we get into today's case, I just wanted to give like a trigger warning. There is the whole a big theme in this case is domestic violence, but there's one spot in this, and I'll give you a trigger warning like before I get into it when we do start telling the story. But at the top of the show, there is like a section where kids are involved.
Oh, no.
Just quickly, and I brush over it pretty quickly because you know that's not something we like to get too far into.
Yeah.
But just know that that's like a quick part of it.
Okay.
No children die.
Okay.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into it, okay?
All right.
And so yeah, trigger warning for domestic violence and like family violence.
Okay.
So we're gonna start on a happier note, and we're gonna be talking about Jennifer Corbin. Jennifer Monique Barber, before she was Jennifer Corbin, her maiden name was Barber. She was born on January 25th, 1971 in Kentucky to Max and Narda Barber. She was the second of their 3 children. And not too long after she was born, the family all up and moved to Lawrenceville, Georgia. It's like a suburb about 30 miles outside of Atlanta.
Okay.
And when asked about her family, Jennifer's sister Heather said, "Our family was just so incredibly close.
Oh.
Like a really tight-knit family." So when she was younger, Jennifer, they always said, was like the most grounded of the 3 Barber girls. Her sister Heather said, "She was just one of those people that made you feel good. She always told you what you needed to hear, but somehow in a gentle way."
Oh, I love
I was
that.
like, I love that a lot.
Everybody needs someone like that.
Because she's like honest, but gentle.
Yeah, she's never going to lie to you, but she's not going to be, like, mean about it.
Exactly. And friends and family remembered Jennifer as being this like really adventurous, friendly kid. She loved to be outside, and she was super fearless when it came to risk taking. She was not afraid of anything. Now, by the time she reached high school, she had made like a ton of friends. She had a really big social circle. She was really popular. Her friend Matthew Jenkins remembered her from school and said she was one of a kind, a very caring person that always had a kind word and a shoulder to lean on.
Oh.
Like she just sounded like the kind of person that you would want in your
Yeah.
circle of friends. Now, outside of school, she had a job at a place called Calico Jack's, which was a local restaurant. She worked there for years, and everyone there, customers and coworkers alike, they all loved her. So after she graduated from Central Gwinnett High School, Jennifer decided that she wanted to move to Savannah, and her goal was going to be studying photography at Savannah's College of Art.
Okay.
Now, at first it was like really fun, and she could see herself making a career of photography. But after 2 years, her love of it kind of dwindled a bit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily something that she saw as the right path anymore.
Okay.
So she was like, you know what? I'm going to move back home and kind of figure things out. So she headed back to Lawrenceville. At that point, she wasn't really sure what she wanted to do. So in the meantime, she got a job as a server at Barnacles, an oyster club or an oyster bar in Duluth, Georgia.
An oyster club.
An oyster
A
club.
club for oysters.
Oh, I used to love oysters so much, but then I found out that
And Vibrio.
and Vibrio thing.
Yeah.
But this will come as no surprise to you at this point. In no time, everybody at Barnacles loved Jennifer.
Look at her.
She just seemed to be that kind of person. Like, I can think of so many like people that I've worked with over the years. Like, you can always pick out that one person from a job that you're like, she was awesome. Or
Yep.
like, he was great.
It's so true.
Now, so the couple that owned the restaurant, actually, Bob and Suzanne Corbin, they liked her so much that they were discussing between the two of them what a great match she would be for their son, Bart.
Ah.
And Bob, specifically, the father of Bart, was really insistent about introducing the two of them. And he was like, let me tell you like a little bit about Bart. He's a little older than you. There was a 7-year age difference.
Okay.
And he's a dentist. So he's got this great job. He's this handsome guy. He's my son, so I love him. I think you'll love him.
Good teeth.
Good teeth, you know? You'll have good teeth forever.
Yeah, everybody will have good teeth.
You have free braces.
There you go.
Let's go. So they introduced the two of them. The parents introduced Jennifer and Bart. And apparently when they met, they did hit it off because before long, they were officially an item. They were dating. Now, in the summer of 1996, just a few months into their relationship, they decided to have a little romantic getaway. And Bart took Jennifer on a trip to Italy.
Damn.
Which, like,
that's a romantic getaway.
To Italy so that I know it's real.
For real.
Now, it must have been wildly romantic because a couple weeks after they got home, Jennifer found out that she was pregnant.
Oh.
Now,
damn.
Even though they weren't necessarily prepared to be parents at that point in time, the surprise of the pregnancy wasn't unwelcome.
It was like a happy surprise.
It was a happy surprise. And Bart's parents weren't old-fashioned in the way that they were going to put pressure on him to marry Jennifer now that she was pregnant, but they made it clear to him that he needed to support her and the baby.
Yeah.
Like they weren't going to let him just walk away from
Good for
this.
them.
And actually on his own, Bart decided that marrying Jennifer and, you know, kind of uniting as a family would be the right thing to do. And that's what he wanted to do.
Okay.
So he proposed to Jennifer. Now, his sister-in-law, so like literally not even his sister, Edwina, she didn't necessarily agree with the decision to make the proposal, which, like, not your fucking business.
I was just going to say, and why is it your business?
Yeah. And she told the author of The Doctor's Wife, great reference on this case, the author is John Glatt, and Edwina told him Bart wouldn't have married her if she hadn't been pregnant. She was probably just a bit young or immature to consider wife material. Like, okay, Edwina. Number one,
you know what? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm going to zip my lip on that one.
Especially after somebody has been murdered.
Yeah.
You say that shit about them. And also,
like, that's cute.
The term wife material, like, grosses me out. Like,
honestly, I hate that shit.
I'm not a material. I'm a fucking human. Thank you.
And it makes it like a weird job.
Yeah, like I have to like aspire to
like
be
you're not going to be
material.
good at this, and it's like no, like we're partners.
Yeah, like if you put a
Just
ring on
life.
it, I'm wife.
Yeah,
the end.
I'm wife.
I am wife.
I am wife. Hear me roar.
I mean, pretty much. So probably not knowing that her sister-in-law was a huge jerk, Jennifer did accept the proposal.
There you go.
And they got married on September 1st, 1996. Jennifer's dad, Mac, said that Bart, quote, came into the family very quickly, and that kind of was because everybody liked him from the second they met him. Like, he was a very charming person. They said he was funny, he was smart, he was really personable, like easy to have a conversation with. Jennifer's father, Max, said Bart's a very funny person. He's got a very quick wit and people are drawn to that.
Huh.
So far in their marriage, so good, right?
Yeah.
Now, in March of 1997, Jennifer and Bart had their first son together named Dalton. And from the outside, it seemed like they were thriving. They were putting on the picture of like happy newlyweds. They've got this new healthy baby. Bart's business is doing really well. And they were always off doing something together. They liked to volunteer. They rode their mountain bikes together. They traveled. It was all ideal. And Jennifer was a really, really good mom. Everybody said that. Her sister said she was born to be a mom. And when she became a mom, she did it 110. She became Miss PTA, the SUV driving, baseball toting super mom.
Oh, I love that.
Goals. And I love that her sister was like, she was a fucking fantastic mom.
Oh, that means she was an amazing sister.
Exactly.
You know?
But unfortunately, the view that the outside world was getting of Jennifer and Bart and their marriage was mostly a facade. And in reality, there were some serious red flags being waved in the air.
Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For one thing, Bart had a very, very explosive temper that could be triggered in an instant. Jennifer's father told NBC he had a temper that could snap in a second, and it seemed to be getting worse.
Oh, and then you mix that with kids, that's not good.
That's the thing, because kids are going to press your buttons.
Of course
and there's
they
going to be
are.
situations where you're fucking exhausted.
And you need to have a fucking handle on your fucking
your
emotions
emotions.
like a grown-ass adult.
Mm-hmm. And interesting that you say that. Like, when you bring kids into it changes things.
Yep.
Not long after Dalton was born, their friends and family started to notice that Bart had a tendency to lose it and start yelling at Jennifer over really trivial things. Like, if he felt that she had done something wrong, he wouldn't let it go. And he'd keep poking.
Ugh.
And, like, in front of people. Like, embarrass her.
Yeah, and if somebody's doing that in front of people,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not okay. In the early years of the marriage, Jennifer never complained about it to any of her friends. She just kind of, like, took the treatment and tried to focus on the good, it seems.
Ugh.
So they all just kind of thought that he was a dick, but
Yeah.
there was not a lot that they could do. They were just trying to support their friend and their family member. Now, just 1 year after Dalton was born, Jennifer became pregnant again. And in January of 1999, she gave birth to their second baby, Dylan. Dalton and Dylan, like, so cute. And at that point, they had really outgrown their house. So they started looking for a new one, and they ended up finding it in Beaufort, Atlanta. It's like a ritzy suburb.
Okay.
They moved into that new house just days after Jennifer had given birth.
Wow.
I feel like that tells you
That's
a little
a
bit
lot.
of what you need to
Yeah.
know. Like, I don't know why she wasn't allowed time to rest.
Yeah.
Now, for the most part, in the years that followed Dylan's birth, their second kid, Jennifer and Bart, they tried to keep up with that role of the happy family. They spent weekends and summers on their boat at Lake Lanier.
Oh.
Gasp.
Eek.
I know, right? And they were known to host big parties for friends and family at their main home in Beaufort. And it was all really nice for a while, but eventually the excitement of the new home, the new baby faded, and the cracks in really what we should refer to as Bart's facade started to show again. Now, Dalton was 5 at this point, and he was going to a private school. And at this point, Bart started really pushing both of his sons to be more physically active. Dalton is the oldest, and he's 5.
I was just going to say.
Yeah. The two of them at 4 and 5 played basketball, took swimming lessons, martial arts lessons, and Dalton added playing baseball first outside of school and then on the school's little league team into the mix of all of that.
Yeah, and it's like, this is why, you want your kids to try stuff and like
Yeah.
get to
And you
figure
wanna
out
keep
what
them,
they
like,
like and keep them
active.
active. But like, if you're forcing that kind of thing on a 5 years old is young to be doing like
That
so
many
much.
things,
Yeah.
right? You're supposed to be trying like one or two things at a time, you know? Like,
Yeah, you just kind of like start trying things. That's the
Yeah.
whole point of it, is like figuring out what your areas of passion are.
but you don't throw them into everything, you know? And the kids enjoyed their sports, but Bart always took it to the next level.
Well, I was gonna say, and if they do enjoy all these, it's like then you can't treat it like this hard
yeah,
thing.
like
You know, like it has to be
regimented.
fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Exactly, that's the thing. And when they're that young, they're like at an age where they're learning how to be a teammate and how to like
Yeah,
the
just,
rules
like-
of each game.
Exactly, like
You
the
know?
basic stuff.
Yeah. But again, Bart always took it to a place it didn't need to go to. And because they were involved in so many sports, I think he kind of saw this as an opportunity to be more involved in those sports. And in 2002, he decided that he was going to coach Dalton's Little League team.
Okay.
Now, at that point, Dalton was 6 or 7, and of course was on a team with fellow 6 and 7-year-olds.
Of course.
But Bart had ridiculously high standards and would lose it on Dalton and the other kids anytime one of them failed to live up to those expectations.
I can't imagine being that kind of adult.
No, me either. And this is kind of where we're going to get into like a little bit of the yucky stuff. So just so you know,
Okay.
it's so mean and it makes me like really sad. But in front of like their teammates, he would call them loser, crybaby, whiner, anytime they like struck out or fumbled a play, you know,
Can you imagine being a grown-ass man
and calling a
and
little
looking
like,
at a little 7-year-old and being like, you're a loser, you're a crybaby, like,
and not only like
Seek
a
help.
child, like I can't imagine that in general, but your baby.
yeah, seek help.
Like I get upset when I have to say no to the girls,
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
like-
their aunt.
I couldn't imagine sitting there being like, you're a loser because you didn't do well in this sport.
No.
Fuck off.
And a whiner.
Like, that's gross, in my opinion.
It's my opinion.
opinion!
A former friend and neighbor said he didn't have any patience for the kids at all. He just gave them hell, and it didn't matter who was around.
Then he should never be a coach, and to be
Or a
honest, like,
father.
he had no business being a parent.
No, I agree.
If you don't have if you can't learn to have patience or have any control over your emotions as an adult, you have no business being around kids.
No. And the thing that got me about like that neighbor saying he gave them hell and it didn't matter who was around, if you're comfortable doing what you're doing in front of people.
What are you doing behind doors?
Exactly. So if you can imagine if that's what was going on in front of people,
That's awful.
it was worse behind
That's
closed
awful.
doors. And again, getting into a yuckier part here. I don't want to get super far into it. And if you want to learn like more about this specific instance or the case overall, I do recommend the book that I mentioned earlier, The Doctor's Wife by John Glatt. But Bart was worse at home. Jennifer's sisters witnessed him not only name-calling Jennifer, but the kids as well. And it was a well-known fact that his kids were afraid of him.
That's awful.
One of them, the older one, I believe it was, told his grandfather, Jennifer's father, that after a game where he struck out, his father lost it on him in public and then hit him after the game
What a piece of shit.
for striking out in a little league game.
You're a piece of shit.
There's never, in my opinion, at least, an excuse to hit your child,
Yeah, that's how I feel, but
but over a fucking baseball game, you hit your
that's
kid, like
astonishing behavior.
truly.
Like truly astonishing behavior. I can't imagine
Truly.
being that pathetic of an adult.
And
I really can't.
don't ever want my kids to be afraid of me. Some
kids
people think like, oh, you know, like I think we mentioned it in one of the episodes earlier,
Yeah.
like being fearful and respect go hand in hand.
It's
I
like,
completely
no,
disagree.
I don't
with
think
that.
that's it at all. Like that's just not how I do it.
That's
Like,
not how I would.
That's
want
not
to.
how I do it. You're welcome to parent however you feel is, fine
How you
for
see
you.
fit. Right.
I don't get the fear-based parenting.
No.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No, I don't want that kind of environment in my house.
No,
either,
I think
you know.
respect breeds respect. And if I
Mutual
respect them
respect.
as human beings, they respect me as human beings, and we maintain that together.
Like I grew up hearing like, I don't respect you, you respect me.
And that's fucked up.
And because of that, I had no respect for the person
course
saying that to me.
not.
I was like, okay, you don't respect me, go fuck yourself.
I have zero respect for people who do not respect me.
Same here.
Zero.
and
they're
I,
not
and I
going to
felt
get
that way
it.
since I was a little kid.
So why would a little kid have to have respect for someone who openly is treating you with no respect and also
Yeah.
telling you have no respect?
and if I'm afraid of you, I don't respect you.
No, I'm scared of you.
Exactly.
Like,
Two different feelings.
That's the thing. Like, I don't understand that.
It's really sad to me that like he went to his grandpa and was like I'm afraid of dad and this is what happened.
That's
you know?
awful. That's my My whole thing with kids and having kids, and again, this is just my thing. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can.
We need to get that sound
I was
bite.
going to say that's a housewives thing, by the way, just in case you wonder where that's coming
It is.
from.
It's Tamara Judge.
But and just in case you wonder why we scream it all the time. But like this is again just my thought process is like your kids should feel safe with you. They shouldn't
Absolutely.
feel fearful of you.
No.
That you should be the thing that they go to feel completely and utterly safe.
Yes.
That's at least how I see it in my household.
I don't really understand.
I never
not
want
seeing
them
it
to
like that.
not think this is a safe place and that I am not a safe person because I might lose my shit on them.
Yeah, well, and
That's-
and they're not going to come to you with things that you would want them to come to you with if they don't see
they-
you as a safe person.
Yeah. And
you
it's
know?
like everybody loses their temper, or loses their cool once in a while, and kids will absolutely be the thing to push you there.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point is when you lose control of your emotions a little bit, you should apologize, in my opinion.
Well,
like,
because then
that's-
that only teaches them that when they lose their cool, the right thing to do is to apologize.
Yeah, and it teaches them that you're a human being and that you can admit when you
Fault.
are wrong. And that like that I don't hold myself to a different standard than I hold you to. If you lose your shit, you need to apologize for it and we need to talk through it and vice versa. I'm not holding myself to some holier than thou standard just because I'm your mom. Like we're on the same playing field here. If I
Right.
fuck up, I apologize. If you fuck up, apologize. Like we got to be on the same thing here.
Yeah, I feel like the old kind of school parenting is like, do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly.
And the new parenting is like, let me lead by example.
Yeah, like let's be like, partners here through this whole process of raising you. Like
Yeah.
you need to be a part of it. And you should feel like you are part of the process and that you can talk to me.
Right. And sadly, I don't think these kids felt that way with their father.
That
at
always
least.
makes me so sad.
Now, Jennifer, on the other hand, she didn't outwardly challenge or oppose Bart's preferred methods of discipline, I guess you could call them. But she did very much try to balance it out by being super,
loving.
super loving and super supportive of the boys.
I'm glad
and,
they had that.
like championing them, you know?
Yeah.
Now, it must have been very, very difficult to have your home life be like that and then have to put on the facade of like, we're this big happy family in public, you know, like we are prim and proper.
Yeah.
And it sounds like despite how things appeared to those on the outside, Jennifer and Bart's marriage had been steadily disintegrating for a while. I don't know why I said disintegrating, but I did.
Emphasis on different syllables.
You know, and by the fall, I don't know, I was trying to put a different emphasis on that.
Fall.
There you go.
There
the
you go.
fall,
The fall.
of 2003, Bart was spending more and more time at work. Not working, though, as I'm sure you can imagine.
I was just going to say.
He and his office manager, legit named Jennifer Garner.
Whoa.
Actually named
Really?
Jennifer Garner.
Holy
which
shit.
Also, like, wow. They were carrying on what she described as an office affair. So he was having an affair on his wife, Jennifer, with his secretary, Jennifer.
There's many reasons why this man needs to seek help, and I think we're seeing layers of it,
Truly.
compound on top of layers of it.
Truly. And, like,
And also, girl, he's married with 2 kids.
she knew.
Like, don't both of you are real shitty for that.
Exactly. She said after the last patient of the day, they would make love in his office and then go their separate ways.
Precious,
Truly. I'm like, well, that really did it for
so
you?
romantic.
But anyway, with Bart spending more time out of the house and the kids being a bit older and not needing like constant attention, you know, Jennifer found new ways to entertain herself. And in early 2004, she bought a PlayStation and she found herself really quickly absorbed in this game called EverQuest. Have you heard of that?
No,
I haven't either. It's an MMO game. Like one of the ones where there's like a ton of other people playing.
oh, okay.
all
I was like,
across
I
the
don't know
world.
what that is.
I didn't either. Dave put a little key in there for me.
Thank goodness for Dave.
I love him. Shout out to Dave.
Shout out to Dave.
Dave. But it's like a World of Warcraft.
Oh, we're like,
kinda.
or like a Call of Duty,
Yeah, exactly.
where you're all talking to each other and like,
from my understanding at
Right?
least.
Okay.
Yeah. You can talk to people from all over the world. It's like
that's scary.
I think it was like a multi, I don't know.
Nope, I thought I had it, but no.
Yeah,
There you
massive multiplayer online game. Shout out to Mikey.
Mikey.
You rock. Never
Oh,
change.
and it's like a fantasy
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So so she got really, really quickly immersed in that. And I can see why, because it's a fantasy game. Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, you're kind of like creating this separate world that is so different from the world that you're living in right now.
Yeah.
So while the kids were off at school or at one of their various activities, or, you know, Bart was at work being a cheating asshole, Jennifer would spend hours at home playing EverQuest.
Okay.
And over time, she kind of started getting more and more withdrawn from real life. Edwina, on the scene to read again, said there really was a marked difference. Jen had lost a lot of weight, was dressing more sloppily than before, and was not looking after the house like she used to. It's like, you're really just shitting on her over and over and over again. I think what you meant to say, Edwina, was there was a marked difference. We were concerned about her.
Yeah.
She wasn't herself.
Yeah.
Like,
She wasn't taking care
not
of the
like,
house.
like, go fuck yourself. Sorry.
Like, God.
But before long, Jennifer, she started skipping out on family functions and gatherings, and people were starting to notice, and
That becomes...
they were getting concerned.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't a strong enough indicator that the things in the marriage weren't going very well, then her own words would make things explicitly clear. Early that summer, Jennifer confronted Bart for the first time and told him she was considering leaving him and that she wanted to take the boys with her. She said, like, this is something I've been thinking about for a while now. So, of course, completely furious with that and needing to keep control on his side, Bart suggested that they go to counseling together.
Okay.
Which I'm like, you're actively cheating on her right now? And you want to go to counseling? Like, maybe you should
have to
stop your
that.
affair immediately
Yeah.
and then do counseling. Like, that'll be great. But it was too late at that point for Jennifer. And in the months that followed, she became more and more intentional about distancing herself from Bart. She started sleeping in a different bedroom in the house and, quote, began separating her and Bart's possessions, apparently preparing to move out.
And this is so unfortunate because, like, on one hand, I'm like, yeah, Jennifer, like, good for you. But I'm like, this is scary because it's the most
scariest time.
dangerous time. And I hate that that is a reality.
And it's one of the biggest realities.
Because you want to champion people getting the fuck out of these situations. But
and taking their power back.
But it's so scary and so treacherous of a road to walk.
It really is.
It sucks.
And
like, it really does.
And it takes a lot to get to that point, too, which is, like, really sad that...
And then you have to fight through the thicket to get out of it, you know? It's like you don't get to just walk this clear path out of this awful place. You have to, you know... I'm making a lot of weird symbolism here, but I don't know. I'm just seeing it in my head as like walking through like these crazy, you know, brambles that are ripping you apart as you go through.
Yeah.
And you just try to make it to the other side.
Mm-hmm. Are you like an author or something?
I don't know why I was doing that. I
think it's how your brain works.
I've been writing a lot, so maybe I'm like thinking about a lot of
You're like translating it into prose.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was beautiful. I welcome it.
I just feel bad.
But I mean,
for
same.
anybody who has to deal with this part of it.
Yeah. Now, according to Jennifer's friend and neighbor Kelly, Jennifer had told her husband that she wanted to separate and find a new place for her and her boys, like I just said. Now, at first, again, like I just said, Bart was mad, but eventually he kind of seemed to accept the fact that this marriage was over.
Okay.
But he had no intention of supporting Jennifer financially if that was the case.
Fuck you.
And because of that, in the fall of 2004, she ended up getting a job as a preschool teacher at the Sugar Hill Methodist Church, where both of her boys had also gone to preschool.
Okay.
Now, she had something to occupy her time during the day, which was great. It was probably better for her at first. But then she fell into like this nighttime routine of spending all night playing the EverQuest game.
Yeah, and that's not great.
Exactly. Now, eventually, while she was doing that, she met another player online named Christopher. And they started off just talking to each other, but, you know, the online flirtation kind of escalated a bit. And now they were having a full-blown online affair.
Wow.
Which I can see how she got pushed to that point, I
Absolutely.
gotta say. You know?
Well, he was cheating on her. They were both checked out of this marriage, ready to divorce.
Mm-hmm. It's sad that they couldn't just divorce and both move on. And
truly,
you know, I don't know if anything would ever make Bart happy, but Jennifer could have had a happy life.
She was obviously looking for like some kind of emotional, you know, fulfillment
and support, you know?
Yeah.
So throughout most of that fall, Jennifer, you know, pursued the online relationship with this Christopher, and she really, really wanted to meet in real life. But Christopher seemed reluctant to take things into the real world, which we all know as the beginning of a MTV TV show.
Exactly.
Now, this was confusing for Jennifer because within just a couple months of meeting online, they had exchanged almost 1,000 emails.
Wow.
And she was fully convinced that this Christopher was the love of her life.
Wow.
So by November 2004, the online affair with Chris completely consumed Jennifer's thoughts. And on November 12th, that would come to a screeching halt. Because Chris confided in Jennifer that he felt like their relationship had gotten out of control, and he told her that he needed to admit something to her. Chris was not a tall, handsome man like she'd been told, and there actually was no Chris. I'm sure we kind of all saw this coming.
Mm-hmm.
The person that Jennifer had been messaging was really a woman named Anita from Missouri.
Oof.
Anita was super, super apologetic, and she explained that she was This part of the show is brought to you by Anua, the Korean skincare brand known for scientific, gentle, yet effective formulations. The latest from Anua is the Retinol Collagen Gua Sha Cream, a firming cream with a gua sha-shaped tip built right in. Have you guys heard of gua sha? It's that viral massage tool that moves fluid and tension out of your face. Less puffiness, a snatched jawline, honey, more definition in your face. Retinol firms and reduces fine lines, and collagen keeps your skin plump and structured. This cream has both of those things, arguably the most optimal combo for that snatched, lifted look all in one step. I am obsessed with the Gua Sha cream. First of all, it feels so cool to the touch. When you put that on your face, it's just like, this is lovely. It's like a little spa treatment that you can give yourself. I like to do mine at night after I get out of the shower. I rub the cream on my face with the little gua sha. I'm sculpting that jawline, honey. I got it on the cheekbones. And actually, I had a facial the other day, and the lady doing my facial, the professional, she said, "Do you use a gua sha at home?" And I said, "I do." And I said, "How did you know that?" And she said, "I didn't have those little like bumps in my chin or like different areas like that." So she could tell that I was using the gua sha. And I said, "Oh my God." I just feel like I wake up less puffy in the morning when I do it the night before. But you can do it whenever you want to. I, 10 out of 10, recommend this product. The Anua Gua Sha Cream value set is available at anua.com, already discounted. Use code MORBID for an extra 10% off. That's ANUA.com, code MORBID. The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders. A really shitty, unsatisfying marriage. Her home life was kind of similar to Jennifer's in the sense that she wasn't fulfilled.
Sad.
It's really sad.
In every way.
And she was using the Chris profile to explore her interest in women.
Okay.
You know, not the right thing to do, but
just sad.
Sad.
Like sad that these women were in such awful like home life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that people have to turn to these things. It just makes me sad.
And like have to turn to these like virtual worlds where they can't really experience the joy that you do in like real life.
And where it's like that it's not just this hobby that makes you happy every once in a while.
That's
you know what I
one
mean?
thing. That's
it's like
awesome.
that's nice. Like you want to have that, like that's awesome. Like you play The Sims or something, you sit there and make a house for 4 hours and you're like, holy shit. But like, you know, but it's like when it becomes your reality and like when it becomes the only thing that's consuming outside of playing it, that's when it's a problem. And that's usually when everything around you is so unsatisfying.
Exactly.
And that's what's really sad about it.
Because anything that becomes that much of an escape is not necessarily healthy, I don't think, you know? But Anita did say that she really, truly had fallen in love with Jennifer, and she actually hoped to continue their relationship. So over the course of a couple months, like of Jennifer knowing Chris, she had invested a lot into the relationship. And the vision in her head that she had was her escaping this marriage and starting over with her boys and someone she loved, this Chris person. So when she got the news that it was actually Anita and that in real life Anita identified as a woman, Jennifer was confused and honestly pretty devastated.
Of course.
Which, you know, she wasn't, she didn't necessarily identify as a lesbian at that time. So.
Yeah, and you were just... You were deceived.
You were deceived,
like no matter what, even when the intention behind it was not malicious, and when this person is still this person, you were deceived. And that just sucks.
It does. So she emailed Anita and said, I just can't take this. I even fell in love with the name Chris. I just don't know how you could do this to me. I trusted you with everything in me, which is really sad. But after a few days, the feelings of, shock and betrayal, they kind of subsided. And Jennifer seemed to have forgiven Anita. She wrote in another email, I'm not sure I would have continued to talk to you for very long if you hadn't come back to me telling me that you had lied and were still Chris. But who knows? I do know that I've fallen deeper in love with you as each day passed. I'm glad you didn't wait to tell me until you'd met me.
Wow.
Yeah, like a really big person, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So from there, the relationship actually kind of got back on track.
Wow.
Yeah. Emails got, increasingly explicit again. And now there were real discussions about meeting in person soon.
It is very interesting to see they just connected as humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though this is like virtual and all that, like they didn't, she fell in love with this person.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether this was a woman or a man, she just fell in love with this person. Like, that's just a very interesting, like,
It is. I think
we all just fall in love with people.
a lot can be said about stripping away a lot of
It's just interesting.
roles,
Yeah. It's like a nice thing to
it's
see.
refreshing.
That they just were like, you know what? I just like you as a person.
Because
And
honestly,
that's
that's
the way
how
it
I
is.
feel. Like, I know that like people identify like as the L, the G, the B, T, Q, and all of that. I kind of just am like a person that loves people.
Yeah.
Like I feel that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it kind of seems like Jennifer realized that she might have
Yeah.
been like a person that just loved people.
Exactly.
At least in the case of Anita. Which
yeah.
I weirdly am like so happy about it, but I'm like,
I
I don't love
know.
how it started.
I know, that's the thing. It's like it started pretty rough. And like
Yeah.
it's got a lot of bumps
But you can
along the way.
see why, like there's like these weird loopholes where you're like, yeah, like
And you're happy just to see that they both moved past it and that they decided to continue whatever they were doing before.
exactly.
You know?
So yeah. So Jennifer's online relationship, maybe got back on track, but in the meantime, her real world and her relationship with Bart was worse than it had ever been before.
Ugh.
As the family, this is a serious warning for the domestic violence right here, trigger warning. As the family was driving home from Jennifer's parents' house after Thanksgiving dinner, Jennifer had to make a stop at a grocery store, and Bart had completely caught on to the fact that Jennifer was having an affair. Like something in him, probably the fact that he was also carrying out an affair.
That'll do it.
Like game see game, I guess.
Exactly.
So he had this like sinking feeling, and he used the opportunity to search through the car for evidence of this affair he knew that she was having. And he did end up finding something. He found a poem that Anita had written to Jennifer that was, kind of like sexually explicit. She'd printed it out and just kept it with her in her purse, and he found it there.
Oh, wow.
So when she got back in the car, he confronted her with the poem and started screaming in her face like a motherfucking hypocrite.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like, you have nothing, like, you can't get mad about this. You're doing
this
the
should
same
be one
thing.
of those things where you just both go, see,
Like,
we're not
meant to be together.
Yeah.
So he started screaming in her face, and she started crying and begging him not to be so aggressive because the kids were in the back seat.
Oh my God.
And they were cowering. And suddenly he punched her in the face while she was
in front of
driving.
those children?
While she was driving in front of both kids. She almost lost control of the car, but luckily managed to get home without getting in a serious accident. But as soon as they did get home, Bart jumped into his own car and just took off.
Leaving, never come back. Bye.
Unfortunately, he does.
Yeah.
He left Jennifer just having been beaten, essentially.
Yeah, in front of her children.
And now she has to calm her traumatized children.
While trying to calm herself as well.
Right. So not sure what to do. She called her dad and was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do right now. Like, this is the situation. And he was like, you need to pack those kids up and bring them to my house right now. Like, let's go. You got to get out of there.
Yeah.
But the only problem with that was that Jennifer was worried Bart would know that she'd gone to her parents' house and he would show up there. And she didn't want that happening. So instead, she took the boys to her sister's house. Now, just moments after she made the arrangements for her sister and like explained everything that was happening, Heather, the sister, her cell phone started to ring, and it was Bart calling. And she answered the phone and heard the frantic sound of him making excuses. He told her, whatever she says, it's a lie. I didn't hit her and she can't prove anything. Like, actually, she can. She has 2 eyewitnesses.
Exactly.
And probably a black eye. So I don't know what you mean she can't prove anything.
What a piece of shit this guy is. Like a true piece of shit.
If you can hit a woman, you're fucking disgusting.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
If you can call your kid a baby, crybaby, loser, whiner, you're a piece of shit.
There's no upside to this fucker.
No. So the thing was, he realized that he had fucked up,
Of course
obviously.
he did.
I don't think he cared on an emotional level.
He just didn't want to get in trouble.
He cared in the way that he didn't want to get in trouble, and cared in the way that he had a business that he didn't want to be affected by all of this.
Of course. So don't hit people in the face then.
Yeah, that's the answer to that. So now he knew the divorce was completely inevitable. He accepted that the marriage was over, but he was very, very worried about his reputation. And of course, as a man used to having full control over every fucking aspect of his life, he was determined to do whatever he could to protect himself and prevent Jennifer from going to the police. Whatever he could.
Ugh.
So on the morning of December 4th, 2004, that neighbor Kelly that I mentioned earlier, she was at home, just getting ready for her day, and her doorbell started ringing frantically. So she ran to the door and opened it, and she found her 7-year-old neighbor Dalton crying and telling her, "My daddy shot my mommy."
Oh, God.
Horrifying.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What I will say is, luckily, they didn't see it happen.
Oh.
They knew it happened, but they didn't see it when it happened.
Oh, that breaks my soul into a billion pieces.
Tiny, tiny comfort in a very fucked up situation.
Oh, God, that's so awful.
It's horrifying. So Kelly picked up Dalton and started comforting him, but at the same time rushed over to the house to check on her friend. I mean, this was her friend. So she stepped foot in the house just as the younger son was walking out of his parents' bedroom crying. And Kelly looked in to see that Jennifer, this is a horrifying scene. She was laying on the bed dressed only in a nightgown, and there was a very large hole in the back of her head.
And the younger son had just walked out of the room. Oh,
they had seen everything. They had seen everything except it happen when it happened. So Kelly carefully approached the bed and she reached out to touch Jennifer, and she said she was ice cold. She was frozen. She'd been there a long time. There was nothing I could do for her. So she scooped up both boys and ran back to her house to call 911.
Wow.
Horror.
Also, that neighbor, what a fucking... That's a neighbor.
Oh,
she walked into that house not knowing what she was going to be dealing with.
Oh, I mean, she had just heard my daddy shot my mommy. For all she knows, he could have had a gun still.
Yeah, and to go get that other little boy. That's heroic.
She cared.
Yeah,
deeply.
that's a good neighbor.
And actually, her and her husband are a huge part of this case, and fantastic people.
Oh, I love that. You could tell.
Absolutely. I'm covered in goosebumps right now. It's just awful. Now, Gwinnett County police officers arrived at 8:01 a.m., just a couple minutes after Kelly called, and they made their way inside the Corbin house. And, they found Jennifer just as Kelly had described to them when she met them at the front door. Jennifer was lying on her side. There was that gunshot wound to the back of her head, and the revolver was next to her body, but it was slightly covered by the sheet of the bed. And scattered across the bed in front of her were divorce papers that had been served to her or seemed to have been served to her on behalf of Bart Corbin.
So he was trying to make it look like...
Very clearly.
Yeah.
The officers in the room, they had never been trained to jump to conclusions, obviously, but the scene in the bedroom told them a pretty simple story at that point of a wife who had become despondent at the thought of being divorced by her husband and took her own life.
That's a no.
That's what a glance told them. But at Kelly's house across the street, Kelly's husband Steve remembered that Bart had planned to go away for that weekend, and he had left the night before, but he didn't know the number to wherever Bart had gone, and he couldn't remember exactly where he had said he was going, so he had no way of reaching him.
Okay.
So he called Bart's parents' house, and he spoke to Bart's father, Bob, and he was like, somebody needs to pick up the kids. I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
And he recalled the phone call later and said, somebody was on the phone when I was talking to him. They were breathing really heavy. I thought maybe it was Bart Corbin on the other line.
Oof.
So while he was talking to Bob, the father, he could tell somebody else was on a different line. Creepy.
That's terrifying.
Now, despite how the scene appeared at a glance, investigators had more than one reason to be skeptical that Jennifer had taken her own life. First, there was Dalton's statement to Kelly that his father had shot his mother.
Yeah.
Then there was also the fact that just a couple days earlier, on December 1st, Jennifer called 911 to report that she and Bart had been in another fight, and he'd stolen her phone and a few other belongings and left the house. Like, what?
What a man baby.
Truly.
Like a true man baby. This, like, ugh.
And then finally, there were reports from Jennifer's family to the police about the domestic violence and the assault that occurred on Thanksgiving. They did report that.
Good.
Jennifer's father told NBC, "I knew that she was dead, and I knew that somebody did it." Which he probably, I can't imagine.
And it's like they probably were seeing this play out in real time, and they were just dreading.
It's
this
like your
kind of
worst
call.
nightmare has come to fruition.
It's like you can see it all going in a really bad direction, and it's like this is the worst possible outcome.
Exactly. So, while the news of Jennifer's death started making its way around stunned family members, police and crime scene technicians were processing this scene as what it was, a crime scene, luckily. Now, among those people at the scene was Senior Assistant District Attorney Tom Davis, and he immediately was like, this place is suspicious as fuck, and all of this is a little too obvious.
Yeah, the divorce papers strewn out in front of her, like, come on.
Right. There were things about the scene also that just didn't make sense.
No.
Jennifer had been shot in the back of the head.
I was also going to say, like, just the logistics.
Right. So she'd been shot in the back of the head, but the gun was laying at her side, tucked under a sheet.
Yeah.
If she had shot herself, that would have meant that she would have had to slip the gun under that sheet
Before falling over.
After having shot herself.
In the back of the head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not possible.
No.
Didn't know if I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, just in case you were wondering.
But then there were the divorce papers themselves. I don't know if you caught what I said earlier. They seemed like they had been served to her. This is fucking wild. As investigators were processing this scene, a Gwinnett sheriff's deputy, unaware of what was going on at that point, arrived at the house to serve Jennifer divorce papers.
These were fake papers?
Yup.
This fucking idiot.
They hadn't even been served yet.
Are you kidding me?
Like, how did you... What?
That's why I don't
there's so many things about this that you won't understand.
Nobody should ever understand, like, why someone kills someone in the first place. No. But he's worried about his reputation and his career. And the answer to that is, I'm going to murder my wife. That'll help my reputation.
Yeah.
No, you're just going to go to jail. Like, that doesn't help your reputation either.
Classic narcissist, though. It wasn't, I'm going to murder my wife. It was, I'm going to murder my wife and stage it like a suicide. And I'm so smart, so why would anybody ever question me?
It's like, wow, I'm glad they're so dumb in that sense, because it's like they always get caught. And it's like, thank goodness.
Right.
But fuck.
So the investigators are sitting there and they're like, well, how would she be distraught over divorce papers that she hadn't been served yet?
Yeah.
Like, these are not real, clearly.
That's the universe intervening right there.
Right? That was, when I got to that point, I was like, what?
Yeah.
But a better question, where the fuck was...
Need a boost? Sometimes all it takes is tapping into your inner cool. Icebreaker's gum helps you unleash the confidence within. Each chew releases a rush of icy flavor powered by cooling flavor crystals, sending a wave of refreshment to reinvigorate all your senses. Icebreaker's convenient pack fits everywhere, from car cup holders to backpack pockets, so you can find your cool wherever you go. Grab Icebreaker's gum online or at a store near you.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70.
Bart Corbin.
Yeah.
Nobody knew where he was at this point. And it took hours trying to locate him, but detectives were finally able to get in touch with his brother, Bobby, a little after 11 a.m.
Okay.
Now, Bobby told Detective Marcus Head, "You can understand my brother is pretty upset and anxious right now."
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I could understand.
I could understand that. I could understand exactly why he might be
Absolutely.
anxious. Now, the detective returned to Max Barber, Jennifer's father, who had been at the scene all morning tending to the kids and, like, realizing what had just happened to his daughter. I can't even imagine. So the detective goes over to him and explains, I talked to Bart's brother and they're on their way to pick up the kids, which I don't know why that was allowed. Like, that,
Why would Bart's family be able to, like, no?
I don't quite understand that.
That shouldn't have been allowed.
Like, that alone must have been shocking to
'Cause
Max.
like, the whole thing was the kid came over and said, my daddy shot my mommy.
Exactly.
Whether you think that's the case or not, that's what that kid said, and you should treat it like there's something wrong here.
Like, why would you send those
don't
kids
give
off?
those kids to his family.
Exactly. Well,
Jesus.
so they told Max that Bart and Bobby would be there in about 15 to 20 minutes. Max waited there for 3 hours, and Bart never showed and never called.
Of course not.
He didn't give a shit about his kids.
No, he doesn't care.
No. I mean, any normal parent, I can imagine it's wildly hard to picture this, like a parent not rushing to be with their kids after such a traumatic event under normal circumstances, but these were not normal circumstances. And Bart had other priorities.
Yeah, like fucking his secretary or whatever the fuck she was.
And while he was supposedly pulling himself together to go over to the house and pick the kids up, he actually was, in fact, consulting with his divorce lawyer, Patricia O'Kelly, asking her for lawyer recommendations, on a criminal matter. So she suggested that he contact Peters, Roberts, Borsick, and Rubin, and that was a Decatur, based law firm specializing in criminal law. And by noon that day, Bart had hired Doug Peters, the firm's leading criminal attorney.
It's really wild to me that not one person is being like, hey, you should do the right thing and, like, go to your kids. Like,
Yeah.
not one person was like, I'm going to step out of line here and I'm going to tell you should probably go take care of your kids.
I'm sure somebody probably
did someone say that?
But honestly, who knows? It kind of sounds like Bart was just like, he surrounded himself with a lot of people.
Exactly.
But so any belief that Jennifer had taken her own life quickly fell away once the crime scene technicians got to work in the house that morning. It turned out that Tom Davis's suspicions were pretty accurate. Given the position of the body and the gun, it would have been impossible that Jennifer shot herself.
Yeah, it doesn't make physical sense.
And the most telling piece of evidence was actually the position of her nightgown.
Oh.
It had slid at some point, exposing one of her breasts. And the technicians believed that couldn't have happened as she had slumped over after a gunshot. Like, it didn't make sense. And instead, it was their belief that it happened when somebody pulled her body in an upright, pulled her body upright into, like, a half-sitting position on the bed.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's when it happened. And to add to that, which I was like, wow, Bart, you're a fucking idiot. One of the straps on her nightgown had slid down past her shoulder. It couldn't be in that position if she had just lifted her arms to shoot herself.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
Nope.
And finally, her body was discovered with her upper body slightly twisted in a way that couldn't have happened after she had just shot herself.
I'm glad he's stupid.
Yeah, so they were like, okay, clearly somebody repositioned her body here.
Yeah.
Like, this is a homicide. Now, that was all just what the naked eye could see. But further tests conducted at the scene also quickly disproved this suicide theory. There were no fingerprints on the gun.
Wow.
So whoever had used the gun had wiped it down afterwards.
Which was obviously Jennifer.
Yeah, totally.
Clearly.
From the afterlife, I guess. There was also no gunpowder or residue on either of her hands, which was noted as very difficult with that particular gun.
Yeah.
And lastly, the angle at which she would have had to handle the gun in order for the bullet to enter as it had into her head made it physically impossible. She couldn't have gotten into that position to hold that gun in that way. So while technicians dealt with all of that, Detective Head and his team started talking to family members and neighbors to find out more about their marriage, and they started by talking to Dalton Corbin, the oldest son.
Now, a 7-year-old.
A 7-year-old.
Oh.
Now, in his interview with Dalton, Detective Head asked the boy, or he was a little older than 7 at this point, like a couple years had gone by, but still young.
Yeah.
In his interview with Dalton, Detective Head asked the boy why he told Kelly that his dad had shot his mom. He's like, why'd you say that? Like, he's got to start off kind of,
Yeah.
And Dalton explained that he actually hadn't seen Bart shoot Jennifer, which, like, thank whoever.
But the fact that that was his first thought.
But given his father's explosive temper and frightening violent behavior, especially toward his mother lately, Dalton said he immediately thought his father had done it.
The
when he
fact that
found
a
the body.
child
Like, it was that
picked
simple.
up on that and was like, oh, yeah, he would.
Exactly.
Like
a child.
Your child is pinpointing you as the killer of his own mother
Yeah.
right off the bat.
That
Like,
tells
you're
you
a
something.
failure.
You're a
failure. Fucking failure.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
So his Dalton's explanation to Detective Head, echoed other family members' claims that Bart had, been very abusive and very violent in the very recent past. But it was actually Steve, Kelly's husband, his statement that actually confirmed investigators' suspicions. Now, Kelly and Steve told detectives that Bart was supposed to have gone away to visit his brother the afternoon before Jennifer had been found.
Okay.
And he wasn't supposed to come home until the day after, which gave him an alibi.
Yeah.
Now, Steve told those same detectives, though, that Steve himself had gotten home much later than he usually did the night before Jennifer's body had been found. He got home sometime after 1:30 a.m., and he was awake and heard a truck pull into the Corbin's driveway around 2 a.m. That was unusual, so he poked his head out the window, and he saw the brake lights of Bart's truck illuminated in the driveway. And he was like, oh, I guess, like, he didn't, he must have come back.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And about 15 minutes later, the truck sped away from the Corbin house, quote, in a great hurry. What?
What happened there?
I thought you were away. So having collected statements from the most important people at the scene, the only person investigators at this point were really fucking eager to talk to was Bart Corbin. But I'm sure this is going to come as a shock to all. He was being very uncooperative.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Detectives have been trying to reach him through his brother Bobby, but every attempt so far was unsuccessful. Bobby just kept telling them that Bart wanted to talk with his lawyer before he made a formal statement to the police. So after he finished his interview with Steve, Detective Head tried one last time to reach Bart and did it by calling Bobby Corbin. And Bobby told the detective that Bart had retained a criminal defense lawyer and the lawyer had advised him against talking to detectives.
Yeah, of
so he would
course.
not be coming down to talk to them.
Wow, you're all pieces of shit.
So right now there wasn't a ton that they could do because
No.
they didn't have necessarily anything pinning him to the crime, but they were going to start looking. Because between the statements taken from friends and family and his continued refusal to speak to investigators, he was starting to look like a very strong suspect. And suspicions only grew stronger when they started digging into his background,
Uh-oh.
which I will get to
In part two. I knew it.
I know, I don't think I actually told you at the beginning of this that it was going to be a two-parter, but it is.
Oof. This one's a... Oof.
This one is a doozy.
And when you said December 4th, 2004, and I was just thinking about it, I was like, oh, like, what was I doing in 2004? And then I was
Didn't
like,
you just
do you
graduate high
ever
school?
think about that? Like,
Yes.
in these kind of
All the
cases, like,
time.
on the day, you're like, what was I doing that day when this was happening? And I had no idea that this was happening somewhere in the country.
It's so weird that you said that because Drew and I had a conversation like that recently about like something terrible that happened while we were at like Universal. And I was
Yeah.
like, all of us here, like everybody at Universal was just walking
Blissfully
around,
walking
like,
around.
super happy, like having probably like one of the best times ever.
And
And then
this
this
family's
horrible thing.
Life
was
is just
happening.
imploding. It's just like really, it's like, oof,
Yeah,
to think
it's
about.
creepy.
Yeah. Oh,
I know.
man, this is a tough one. I hope this guy gets it.
I don't know.
Is all I'm saying.
He might get away or he might not. I don't know.
Those are the two choices. So I
Yep,
hope we
A or
get
B.
one.
But again, we'll get to it in part 2. So we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
Keep
it
weird. But not so weird that you don't go listen to part 2. Bye.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in, and that's too late. SimpliSafe is changing that.
Stop. This is SimpliSafe. Police are on the way.
We don't just alert, we stop crime before it starts. SimpliSafe, plan starting around $1 a day. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplisafe.com/SXM or with promo code SXM.
Outdoor deterrence requires a SimpliSafe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplisafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.
You wouldn't take financial advice from a 72 hours in a single day alpha influencer, would you? Same goes if you're in a car accident or any accident. Who you choose matters. That's why Morgan & Morgan exists. They're the largest injury law firm in America, and they've built a reputation by actually winning cases, not just talking about it. Over 1,000 lawyers across all 50 states and $30 billion recovered. Injured? Go to forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast.